Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. We're just talking about coaches getting fired and whatnot, like Tibbs in New York. I can't believe it. To be fair, George did call this. You saw this possibility happening. All I could see was this guy out-coaching our guy in the playoffs. Yeah. I remember just yelling about Joe Mazzulla, make some adjustments, do something, go at these guys, get Brunson in foul trouble, get Cat in foul trouble. All the things the Pacers did, by the way.
Yeah.
All things that can be adjusted and doable. And no, yet Tibbs outcoached our guy and he still gets fired. Here's a tweet here from Ant at Gang Celtics. Thibodeau getting fired is a bad look for Mazzulla because he definitely outcoached him.
He did.
Facts.
Joe Mazzulla is the guy that just ran his entire offense into a wall and didn't care to try to find the door to the right or left to just walk around it. And that is when they come out and of their 20 shots in the third quarter, 19 of them are threes. Right. And when they're up 20 plus points in 2 straight games, they keep shooting the 3 ball, don't attack inside, blow those leads, take the air out of the ball, and next thing you know, the Knicks are up 2-0. And with all of that too, you have Jayson Tatum's minutes, which could have been 30, 35 minutes in game 1 and 2 because they had 20-point leads. Jayson Tatum could have been rested. Instead, you have to maximize him, have him playing in overtime games. And then we see game 4 come around and fatigue, a long off season, a lot of basketball played, a past postseason and title run, on top of the minutes he played in that series, all come together and we see that Achilles torn. That's a fatigue type of injury. His body can only sustain so much, and it popped. That's on Joe Mazzulla. And for Tom Thibodeau to get fired, who outcoached Joe Mazzulla in that series, that has to be noticed on him. And it's more than that. Look, what they did last postseason run was absolutely brilliant. They barely lost any games on their way to the finals, dismantled the Mavericks like it was nothing, and won that 18th banner. But NBA titles only give you so much job security. Mike Malone won it in 2023. He didn't make it to this year's postseason. Yeah. He was fired because he was butting heads with his superstar in the front office.
That's right.
Tom Thibodeau just gave the Knicks their back-to-back 2 best seasons in over 20 years. Led them to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he was fired. When you are proving that you cannot maximize your superstars and your players' potential and their window of their peak, they will tune you out and they won't care. Joe Mazzulla was awful in the second round all around. He was absolutely terrible in game and game to game. He was great against the Magic and then lost against the Knicks. It didn't make sense. He has to take this as notice, and I know he will, because he watched the Eastern Conference Finals and went, all right, that's what we have to do to the Knicks. We got to be better. And he had the personnel for it. This is 100% putting him on notice.
I appreciate you bringing up those older examples of coaches who have been in this situation that he's in now and getting fired. None of those situations have worked out for those franchises since. And I think it's going to be the same case for the Knicks. Now, the Knicks, obviously, because of who they are in that brand and that market, they have an advantage to go out and get the big name, the big sexy name. So we'll talk about in a minute. But I don't believe the timing was right on any of those examples you used, and I don't believe the timing was right here either.
Yeah.
I just think, why not give the guy another season he took you as far as you've been in all these years. If you come back next season and you underachieve in any way, anything short of going to the NBA Finals, then it makes sense and you can justify it. Hey, we're regressing, we blah, blah, blah. You make the move. Some people I see are arguing, do it now, rip the Band-Aid off, because you don't have a extended championship window like you would think in New York. To that, I would say that's not his fault. That's like, then move and shake some players. Go get a Giannis. Go get, what you were saying, who'd you say, Donovan Mitchell, another star to go against.
If they're the Knicks, yeah.
Yeah, if you're the Knicks, go get another star to go with Brunson. That's not on the coach. My thing is, you should have gave him one more season. If he's on the hot seat, you don't tell anyone, fine. Okay, but to fire him now is just, I think it's stupid. I think the Knicks will regret it. However, all the names on the rumor mill, Jay Wright.
Yeah, I don't think he comes out of
Dan Hurley,
retirement.
Mike Malone, who's a native New Yorker and a former Knicks assistant, by the way. Eric Spoelstra, I've seen. Can they trade for Eric Spoelstra with the Heat? There are a lot of big-name guys out here that the Knicks are going to go after. I'll tell you one, and I know he's not going to get the job, and it ticks me off, and it's Sam Cassell, our guy right here. Because Sam Cassell is overqualified at this point to be a head coach. He should have been a head coach years ago. He still hasn't got an opportunity yet. I look at a Sam Cassell with his toughness, with now the years, time on task, the reps of an assistant coach. He's ready to go. As a player, he was a leader. He's tough. New York would love that. He's no nonsense. I think Sam Cassell would be a great, not good, a great coach for the Knicks, but they're not going to look that direction because they're New York. They need a marquee name. We need Jay Wright in his suits and all that nonsense. Not saying he can't coach, but I think Sam Cassell would be a really, really good fit for the New York Knicks as a head coach.
It's the thing with this and why Thibodeau ran his course as well. He's been there 5 years. And like the reports of the voice in the locker room, I don't buy into that because OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, they're new to the team. Karl-Anthony Towns literally got there this season. Josh Hart and Jaylen Brunson, his longest tenured players, endorsed him publicly, privately, always had his back, loved playing for him.
Yeah.
But when you trade all those first-round picks to get a Mikal Bridges, when you trade for an OG Anunoby and give him all that money, trade for a Karl-Anthony Towns, have Jaylen Brunson on the books like you do,
yes,
you have such a minute window to win an NBA title. And for Tom Thibodeau at 67 years old, all the experience he has in the NBA, his game is his game. He's going to stick to his 5-6 guys. Now, the bench wasn't the most deep because they're paying all those guys to start on the 5.
Yes.
But this was a team that was top 10 in offense, really good in net rating, defensively was good.
Yeah.
But he just ran his course and how they were unable to even at least put up a fight, a respectable fight with this Pacers team. I know it went 6, but it's game to game. How does it look? Getting blown out, blowing the leads themselves.
Yeah.
When you have Jaylen Brunson at his age, who is a top 10 player, you have Karl-Anthony Towns in there right now, and when you have the Knicks, who, cool, you got him to this point. Tom Thibodeau is a good build it up, set the foundation coach. He's not a championship coach. They need to go out and find that. Mike Malone's out there. Johnny Bryant, who spent time as associate head coach for the Knicks, learned from the Cavaliers this past season and is close to Donovan Mitchell. If he comes in and he's younger and it's a different voice, and that brings a D Mitch to New York, and you have him with Jaylen Brunson, I don't know how that would work on the floor, but it's like, this is what happens. Taylor Jenkins, look what he did with the Grizzlies. Again, eventually the voices do run out, but you need modern coaching. That's what you need.
Let's talk sexy names, though. Are you with a Jay Wright, a Hurley? I mean, they are. Look, this is a Knicks we're talking about. They're not. Yes, they could hire one of these dudes, where a Cassell, a Malone, right?
Yeah.
But they're looking marquee, box office. They're looking for a big name. Do you buy any of that?
Jay Wright, I don't think he comes out of retirement. I mean, the guy's won enough. Now, coaching in the NBA is not as demanding as it is in college, but I don't think Jay Wright does that. As for Dan Hurley, I mean, keep in mind, he flew out to LA. He was swooned by the Lakers, met with ownership, was offered $70 million.
He was flirting.
But said, I want to go back to the college game. My thing with Dan Hurley, and as he said it, when it comes to college, he picks the players. He picks the coaches. He picks the schedule. He picks how long they practice. He controls everything. Dan Hurley is a bona fide sociopathic psycho. And that's why he's won back-to-back national championships.
Takes one to know one.
And that's why he works out at the college level.
Yeah.
Does that work in the NBA? Now, he is from Jersey. Grew up right down the road in Jersey City. I know where he grew up because I grew up 20 minutes from where he did, right? I'm acting like I'm from JC. I'm from Wayne, the suburbs. But he grew up there. That Knicks job is a dream job. But when you walk into UConn's campus every day and you are the king, Dan Hurley is the mayor. As you say, the alpha and the omega.
Yeah.
You're not that way in New York.
Right.
It changes. And now instead of you being the guy, we know how the pecking order goes. It's Jaylen Brunson. It's Rick Brunson, his dad.
Yes.
It's the second best player. It's the agent. Those are the guys that determine stuff, not the head coach.
It should be noted, I mean, if the Knicks are going to pursue some superstars, let's just throw Giannis's name out there, this can add to that. Hey, you have an opportunity to help us pick your next head coach. That is one hell of an advantage for the Knicks over some of these other contenders, maybe including the Celtics, trying to get involved in a Giannis sweepstakes.
Yeah.
If New York can say, hey, man, we'll bring you in, we'll pay you, and you can pick the next head coach, that could be enticing for a superstar to want to do.